Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about multiplying rational numbers. To begin, we're going to start with a warm-up. Our warm-up gives us 3 statements, and we have to say whether these are always, sometimes, or never true. So statement 1 says the product of 2 positive numbers is positive. I'm going to circle the word product. I know product means to multiply, so I'm going to put a multiplying sign. It then says I'm multiplying by 2 positive numbers. I'm going to circle 2 positive numbers, and I'm going to use green to represent positive. So I'm going to choose 2 positive numbers. I'm going to choose 2 and 5. Now, what am I doing with these numbers? Well, product told me I'm going to multiply them. So I'm multiplying 2 and 5. I know this gives me 10. So the statement said the product of 2 positives is positive. Is that true? Yes, it is true. So this statement is always true. The second statement says the product, here we go again with product. Let me go ahead and circle that, and I'm going to put a multiplying. Of a positive number, I'm going to circle that in green, and a negative number, I'm going to circle that in red to represent negative, is positive. Well, let's see. I need to choose a positive number. I'm going to choose 2, and I need to choose a negative number. I'm going to choose negative 5 this time. And I know again from product, I need to multiply these. 2 times a negative 5, this is going to give me, well, I know 2 times 5 is 10. If I add a negative here, it's going to give me negative 10. So looking back at the statement, it says the product of a positive number and a negative number is positive. But here it shows negative. So this statement right here is false. So it's never true. The last statement says the product, I'm going to put multiply and circle, of 2 negative numbers is negative. So I'm going to circle negative numbers in red. So I'm going to choose 2 negatives, negative 2 and negative 5. And again, I know I'm going to multiply because of the word product. So negative 2 and negative 5, multiplying. Well, I know positive 2 and positive 5 give me 10. A positive 2 and a negative 5 give me negative 10. But what happens when I have 2 negative numbers? That is going to give me a positive number. I get positive 10. So this statement is never true because it said I was going to get a negative number and I actually got a positive. So now we're going to move on. We're going to do a problem string of multiplying decimals. So our first question has 5 times 3. So these are both positive numbers. So I'm going to circle them in green. Looking back at our warm-up, we can see that when we have 2 positive numbers, it gives us a positive answer. So I should get positive 15. 5 times 3 is 15. Our second example here, I have a positive 5 and I have a negative 3. Looking back at our warm-up, it says when we have a positive number and a negative number, it gives us a negative number. So my answer should be negative 15. Our third example, I have a negative 5 and I have a positive 3. Well, this example is similar to this one. I have 1 negative and I have 1 positive. So I should get the same answer, which is negative 15. Our last question says negative 5 times negative 3. So I have 2 negative numbers this time. Remember in our warm-up, when we had 2 negative numbers, it gave us a positive 10. So our answer should be positive 15. Now, when you take your tests, you're going to see us using variables. So variables are letters that represent numbers. So in this case, we're going to use A and we're going to use B. And we said product because we're learning about multiplying. So we're going to put a multiplication sign in between these variables. So for the first example, we have 5 times 3. So both my variables in this case are positive. So when I have 2 variables that are positive, it gives me a positive answer because I got positive 15. In my second example, here, I had a positive A multiplied by a negative B. So when I have a positive and a negative, I get a negative number because I got negative 15. In our third example, I had a negative a multiplied by a positive b. So when I have a negative a and a positive b, it gives me a negative number because I got negative 15. And in my last example, I had two negative variables. I had negative a multiplied by negative b, and this gave me a positive answer. So let's look at some similarities. So in my first example, I got a positive. Let's see, which one did I get a positive? Oh, the last example, I also got a positive. So as we can see here, when I have two positive numbers multiplying by each other, I get a positive answer. When I have two negative numbers multiplying by each other, I get a positive answer also. Now, for my second example and my third example, I have two negative answers. So here I have a positive a and a negative b, and it gave me a negative. So when I have a positive and a negative, it gives me a negative. When I have a negative and a positive, it gives me a negative. So this is something you can remember when you're taking your test or you're doing your homework and you kind of forget about the numbers. You can just think about the signs. So now we're going to discuss the steps to multiplying rational numbers.